Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday here from everybody at The Wrap. This week's Wrap features Greenhouse acquiring voice interviews, iCIMS getting a new CEO, WedgeHR rolling out candidate signals, ERIN offering a free version of their referral product, the latest jobs data from ADP and Aspen Tech Labs, the great What's Next for Workday debate. We check in with smart recruiters Alan Bailey on Winston's rollout. We see more performative outrage at the EEOC, and we'll talk about the fresh hell that is coworkers bonding over Botox. I'm Mike Wood. This is The Wrap. Hit the theme song.
It's The Wrap, HR Tech news and shenanigans. It's The Wrap. Here's your host, Mike Wood.
Hello, everybody. My main story this week concerns the value of a job application in the AI age. So Greenhouse dropped the number in a press release this week that I'll talk why they were writing a press release. I'll talk about that in a minute. But they dropped the number in there that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. And they stated that their applications per recruit form are up 412% since 2023. That's when ChatGPT was released. So that's 4 times as many applicants in 2 years. And I'm not picking on Greenhouse. This is not just a Greenhouse problem. It's an everybody problem. LinkedIn processes 9,000 applications a minute and turns out about 7 hires in that same window. Whereas Easy Apply averages 834 applicants per posting, which is roughly 3% of that gets to the human eye. I've been doing some digging with getting some data on here. And so you can't get in front of people anymore. And also on the other end of things, time to fill keeps stretching too. So in 2023, I believe it was 41 days. Now it's climbing, and with tech, it's past 51 days. So here's the framing I want to land. When you are 4 times the applications, each candidate is 4 times more diluted. And this is application inflation. So just like when the Fed prints more dollars, each dollar buys less. AI prints more applications, each one gets less attention. It's same dynamic, same outcome, but and the resume, an already thin proxy for who someone actually is, disappears into a stack that nobody is going to read. So naturally, the recruiter brings in AI to keep up. The candidate brings in AI to keep applying. Both sides are sending GPT-generated emails to GPT-trained screeners and calling that a hiring process. Now, when everyone's resume is GPT-polished and every job description is keyword optimized into oblivion, keyword matching stops working. Experience matching stops working. The signal that ran the entire ATS industry for 2 decades just got neutralized. So what do we do? Well, imagine if we took the technology of an agent and made it work for both sides. So picture an agent that travels with you across your career, actively scanning for the right next role. Companies have their own agents looking for talent. Your agent talks to my agent, parameters get sketched, and the two of us only get pulled in once there's a real deal in motion. And just like pro athletes, only bring me in when there's a decision to be made. Athletes don't fill out applications, so why should I? Their information and stats are compiled by their agent, who works for them to get the best deal based on their needs. Now, why would the rest of us be regulated to a boring piece of paper and stumbling through ridiculous gotcha questions like, what's your biggest weakness? Blah. My biggest weakness is vocabulary this morning. So the resume needs to come alive too. And right now it reads like an obituary. It's past tense, it's third person, hopeful boilerplate, stripped of anything that sounds like an actual person. But look at what the rest of software has figured out to see where we can change. So search, customer service, code research, all of it has collapsed into a prompt box because the conversation is how humans actually want to talk to machines. Hiring, the one category you most need to understand a person, is still demanding a 40 field form and 3 uploads. Less forms, more conversation. We didn't break hiring with AI. We plugged AI into a process that was already broken and called it innovation. So the next chapter has a chance to do something better. All right, let's move on to the week that was in HR tech. Gotta love that. So the week in HR tech, My first story is Greenhouse has defined a definitive agreement to launch Ezra AI Labs, or to acquire Ezra AI Labs, a voice AI interviewing platform that only launched in 2024. So pay attention to this one. Greenhouse has spent the last year building the loudest responsible AI pitch in this category. Numerous certifications. They have a monthly Warden AI bias audit, the AI principles framework that I mentioned last week. And now they're putting structured voice conversations at the top of the funnel, where, remember, fewer than 7% of applicants actually get any human contact at all. So if you've been listening to me talk about application inflation for the last 5 minutes, this is exactly the kind of move that will help. You can't manually screen 412% more applicants, but if you can run them through a structured voice conversation that captures more signal than a one-way video, more nuance than a chatbot, and that produces something a human can review. That's the actual upgrade. It's a good move from Greenhouse, and look to more voice AI agents to be rolled out within the major ATS players later this year. Next up, iCIMS announced that Marc Thompson will be taking over as CEO effective May 17th. He's succeeding Jason Edelbaum. Thompson came in as CFO in September 24. He's been credited internally with driving the company's AI strategy and operational reset. But here's some context that you need to keep in mind. TA Associates took iCIMS private back in 2020. Since then, the platform has had its and refresh, and now a CFO running the show. And that's not the playbook for an infinite hold. That's the playbook for getting dressed up for the dance. And the question is, who asked? So Workday has already grabbed Paradox. SAP has grabbed Smart Recruiters. Greenhouse just bought their voice AI play. The list of dance partners for both the cash and the ATS gap to fill is getting short. So at the time of writing this, I would say Oracle's who's left, but they just partnered with Eightfold and their AI interview product. So who knows? But whatever it is, the race is on. My friends at ERIN launched a free version of their AI-powered employee referral platform this week. You can connect your ATS or HRIS, brand a referral program, go live in minutes, no credit card, and you pay nothing until your first 3 referral hires. Paid plans start at $349 a month after that. And the mechanics of the story. So ERIN is shifting referral software from 6-week implementations and upfront contracts to instant gratification and pay by results pricing. The other piece worth flagging is AI campaigns. Instead of waiting for employers to remember to refer someone, the platform identifies who in the workforce is most likely to know qualified candidates for a specific role and reaches them on SMS, email, Slack, or Teams. This is how this gets to frontline workers, the population that traditional referral programs have historically left out because they don't live in the corporate inbox. Frontline hiring is one of the last real growth sectors, a free AI-driven referral channel that meets workers where they actually are, and it's a credible play for it. It's worth watching, especially for this guy, Mike Staffy, who is their CEO, and great guy, and he's willing to take photos like this that will appear everywhere as far as I mention his name in the next couple of years. All right, we have a quick one. WedgeHR rolled out candidate signals this week. It's an AI feature that analyzes completed one-way video interviews across 5 interpersonal qualities: self-awareness, collaboration, adaptability, accountability, and motivation. The strongest signals float to the top of the review queue. Same theme as the rest of this week's. Vendors are racing to give recruiters something to look at other than a resume. And the keyword matching era is ending as far as I'm concerned, and the signal extraction era is here. Let's take a look at some research and reports.
Search and reports coming at you.
I hope you guys appreciate the the 80s hair metal band that I hired to do the rap music. All right, research and reports. ADP's April National Employment Report dropped this week. 109,000 private sector jobs added, fastest pace since January 2025. Pay for job stayers is up 4.4%. Job changers are up 6.6%. Healthcare and education carried the report at plus 61,000. Trade, transportation, and utilities rebounded at plus 25,000. But here's the thing: professional and business services lost 8,000. So the line we're circling came from ADP chief economist Dr. Nella Richardson, and they write, small and large employers are hiring, but we're seeing softness in the middle. So the numbers back it up. Small establishments added 65,000. Large employers added 42,000. Medium-sized companies, the 50 to 499 employee bucket, added a combined 2,000, only 2,000. So this is the middle migration, that middle migration that we've talked about a couple times here on the wrap in the actual data. Also this week, Aspen Tech Labs dropped their Q1 2026 job market pulse recap. The headline is U.S. job postings are down 2% year over year. 44 of 51 states posting year-over-year declines, and the hires rate is at 3.1%, which is the lowest rate since April 2020. The line we're circling here is Aspen in this report. Please go check it out. I linked to it in the wrap. They call out the BLS directly, which is smart, that 10 of the last 11 monthly payroll prints have been revised and almost all downward. December went from plus 50 to negative 17K to just 2 months later. So we've been talking about the BLS numbers not holding the same weight they used to because they are clearly fudging them. So this is an opportunity for some private data sellers and the ATS systems of the world who are sitting on their own data to start selling that. One thing I wanted to point out in this is that AI specialist postings are up 76% over the year because, of course, they are. And recruitment agency postings are off 9.9% year over year, which is a much steeper drop than direct employer postings, which says something about who gets cut when hiring tightens. Oh, we got hot takes here. So, hot take this week, the Workday debate has been the hottest argument in HR tech for 2 weeks. There was a post by A16Z's Joe Schmidt that called Workday the next PeopleSoft. Then there was smart pushback from Thomas Otter, Anita Lithic, and others. And then George LaRoque showed up and he brought receipts. George has been quietly building the most comprehensive capital data set in this industry for the better part of a decade. $65 billion of work tech funding across 2,400 plus deals. 24.5 billion of that has flowed into the 6 categories that map out Workday's footprint. And the enterprise ceiling is held every single time. So the punchline lands where Silicon Valley keeps refusing to look, which is compliance in enterprise HR, not a monitoring problem you solve with an agent. That's an accountability and liability problem. So somebody has to be on the hook when payroll runs amok in Germany. So please check out George LaRoque's post. The link is in this week's newsletter. I've also pinned it as my staff pick for the Voices page on ilovethewrap.com/voices. All right. We're moving into some podcasts. I was able to catch up with Alan Bailey from Smart Recruiters SAP at Unleash for a check-in on Winston 6 months in. And let's check it out and see what she has to say.
Yeah.
You announced Winston last fall.
Yep.
I believe, just from looking at the space, it was probably one of the first, if not the first, AI agent that was out in the field, doing things for TA. As we talked a little bit off camera, that it's tough for some TA teams to get up with the technology, just like anything. How has the initial rollout gone?
Yeah, adoption is amazing. Let me tell you, that was PR speak. Adoption is amazing. Let me explain what that means. We really pushed into our current customer base with it. Right. We are now seeing that those customers who are adopting it, they are now running about 60% of their jobs through the agent system and through Winston and various. That's huge.
Wow.
And we are also seeing that there's a direct correlation between one agent use model rolling into place and then them building on to the next. So that kind of land and expand model around agents is proving to be true from an adoption perspective.
All right, check out the full interview on hr.com on the Totally Talent podcast section. It's great. And there's plenty of other podcasts on there. I try to get on the ground and talk to as many vendors and practitioners as possible.
Click.
All right. I love AI music too much, accordingly. So there's a couple of stories that caught my eye this week that I wanted to bring by you. And one of them is a thread that I've been talking about for a while. So, like on Tuesday, the EEOC filed suit against the New York Times in the Southern District. The complaint alleges the paper passed over a white male employee for promotion in favor of less qualified women to meet diversity goals. The ask is back pay, punitive damages, compensation for emotional pain and anguish, all that. EEOC Andrea Lucas, right here, a Trump appointee, kicked off the announcement with the quote that no one is above the law, including elite institutions like the New York Times. Like anything with this administration, you have to look at the full punchline. The Times has spent months reporting on the EEOC under this exact administration. I've covered it because it's worthwhile for everybody to know what's going on. Their field staff told the paper that they were being pressured to bring politically charged cases even with little evidence. That investigation has been sitting in a drawer for months. Then in late April, right after the Times published, the case quietly accelerated. By Tuesday, it was a lawsuit filed by the agency, not the employee. Of note, keep a note, the agency filed this, not the employee itself. The agency is the plaintiff. So keep your eye on this one. The case will get litigated on its merits, and maybe there's something there, but the pattern is the part that I want to call out that's uncomfortable. Like the agency is supposed to be enforcing civil rights law, and it's now picking targets that look an awful like targets the White House has been naming out loud. So that's not enforcement. It's something else. I think it's trash what's going on there. Hopefully it gets worded out, because I don't think there's a lot of older white male discrimination, or maybe I haven't faced it enough. I mean, I could be oppressed too. So let's move on to the next story. So this is a story that came out of HR Brew. So like a lot of people, I get the HR Brew every day, and I caught this hot mess that it was it was a HR Brew article about different benefits that employees are doing with each other. And what the thing that caught my eye was Botox parties. So as a 43-year-old man, I may be under a rock with the whole Botox craze, but listen to some of the comments from the people in here, and I regret that they are some of my Massachusetts compatriots. One of them, Sarah Mahoney, she's a Massachusetts hairdresser, told HR Brew about going for Botox with a new coworker. Her takeaway is that it felt almost like a really vulnerable situation. It brought them closer. They made a day of it. Drinks after. Oh, to me, that sounds out of bounds a little bit. And then there's Laura Beauregard at Pan Communications. This woman says that she hosts quarterly Botox parties at her home with a nurse friend and invites colleagues. Some former Pan employees still show up 4 times a year for the injections. And she does, her rationale for it is that she does her hair. Why not her face? This is getting weird. Connection is good. Belonging is good. But a quarterly group Botox at Laura's house is really weird. Maybe I'm out of the loop here. Feel free to ask me at the Wood Summer Barbecue and Brazilian butt lift that I have going on later this summer. But so now I'm older and I find this ridiculous, but I wanted to take a look into Callie's corner to see if Callie found it ridiculous as well. So I work from home. I have kids around me. Why not ask them about what's going on? So I asked Callie what her thoughts are on the Botox parties in this week's Callie's Corner.
Callie's Corner, serious questions to a 6-year-old. Callie's Corner.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Callie.
Hi, Callie. What did you do today that was super fun?
We went to the library with you.
Yeah, I helped out at the library. So you like reading books?
Yeah.
So I have a great question for you this week. I have heard that there are some parties out there, where different coworkers will get together and they'll inject things into their foreheads to not have wrinkles. Would you ever do that?
No.
Do you do that with your friends?
No.
No. Okay.
We have birthday party, but we don't do that.
Okay. All right. So Callie is out on the Botox parties.
Callie's Corner, serious questions to a 6-year-old. Callie's Corner.
Some of my eagle-eye viewers out there might realize that Callie is missing her last front tooth. It finally came out after being gross and hanging on by a thread for weeks. It's super gross. That's all I have for this week's wrap. If you're not subscribed to the wrap yet, head over to ilovethewrap.com. It hits your inbox every Friday. I've built out this website while learning code, and I think it's a great resource for everybody that's in the HR tech space that's looking to find out what's going on. So let me just show you what I've built here. So if you go to ilovethewrap.com, I have a couple sections on here. Here's the latest newsletter. All my past newsletters are on there. I put HR tech jobs just because I can pull in some of the feeds of some of the vendors and see who's hiring out there. And I also built out this thing called a vendor pulse. And so what the vendor pulse is my attempt at trying to get every information that you would want about a vendor in front of you on a tool. So I have, this is a sample. This is Workday. They have, I got the leadership on there, what customers say, what they love, what they don't love, different capabilities. And then something new I added is I want to look at their ecosystem depth. I want to look at compliance and trust, what certifications that they have that you may need. Also, what is their AI governance posture? Where do they stand on your data? So included in all that information here, plus their financial health, their support quality, which I'm trying to map over time. The website's only been up for 3 weeks, so I hopefully we'll be getting more information, but check it out. Also, I have a tab up here called Voices, where I'm trying to highlight some of the friends in the industry that are writing great stuff and what they're doing. So I have George LaRoque's piece here as my staff pick for the week. Also, take a look at the labor market tab. I just uploaded that with the latest information. It's got the BLS numbers on there, plus some more research coming in from ADP and more. Check it out on ilovethewrap.com. Follow me. Check out totallytalent.com on hr.com. Not totallytalent.com. Check out totallytalent on hr.com and everything else that we're doing on hr.com, including a ton of free virtual events and demos and stuff. Check us out. I will see you guys all next week and have a wonderful weekend. That's it for the wrap.